Hey guys, today we're working on the Little Drummer Boy. This one is probably a favorite for many people, at least judging by the number of YouTube covers that are done of it. Pentatonix is a great version of it. For King and Country, they do a really great version of it. It's a fun one to do on the piano as well. It's a little bit simpler than the one we worked on the last time, which was Christmas Time Is Here. If you haven't tried that one, I would recommend going and checking that out. But for today, we are looking at the Little Drummer Boy here. So, the Little Drummer Boy is in the key of F. Let's talk about that first. What does that even mean, to be in the key of F? When a song is in the key of something, it simply means that the composer has used a group of notes from that family, from that scale, from either the major scale or the minor scale, whatever key the song is written in. This one is written in F major. What that means is that the composer has chosen these notes in some configuration. So that means when you're playing a song that is in a specific key, you'll notice there is a certain configuration of simply put black notes. So those would be sharps or flats. In this case, you'll notice I did not play the B when I walked up and down my scale. So the B is flat in this song. So in your mind, you can just put an X right there on that B. You will not be using that note in this song. There are always exceptions, but certainly that is a basic way to understand the key. All right, so in the key of F, again, going back to what we did before, we talked about chords in previous projects. So let's just talk about that in the Little Drummer Boy. This one is not, like Winter Wonderland, for example, that was very much like we just repeated some chords here in the right hand. It was accompaniment style. We needed a singer, although we did put in a melody in that one as well. The Little Drummer Boy may not seem to be as much chord based, but we do have chords, and you'll find them in the left hand. So the F chord is what we would call our one chord, because that's the name of the key. We're in the key of F. So that's actually what the left hand is going to be doing. Just plunk out Fs, like that, okay? Then we are going to also be using the C. In this song, we're going to play it as an octave, okay? So already I'm starting to kind of give you a sense of what it's going to sound like with that rhythm there in the left hand. Very steady throughout the whole song. That is supposed to mimic the beat of the drum, right? Okay, so the C in the key of F would be our 5 chord. For those who have a little bit of an interest in theory, the reason that's our 5 chord is because F is 1. So if you just count up 5, in fact you have 5 fingers in your hand, you'll notice the 5 is right up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So chords are named by numbers. So the F is our 1 chord, the C would be our 5 chord. All right, but you can play it also in the octave. That doesn't matter. You could play it this way too if you wanted to. It's really up to the composer what they choose to do. Now, if C is our 5 chord, the note right before C would be B. But we already talked about the fact that we cannot use a B in this song. It has to be a B flat. So we would say that the B flat is our 4 chord. So the 1, 4, 5. Appear in that voicing in this song. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the left hand. Most of the work is in the right hand. Later on, when we put hands together, we talk about the rhythm. We'll talk about the left hand a little bit more. So for now, it's just important that you see that the F is 1. We're going to play the C octave. That's going to be 5, and then the 4 chord will be right here, the B flat and the F. If you played the B natural, you would have 5 over 5 like this. Okay, so that F is where your thumb goes in the left hand. You'll just slide the hand forward a bit so that you can reach the B flat with your pinky. Okay, so those are the 3 events in the left hand. I'm not going to spend any more time on that today, or right now. Okay, the melody, maybe I'll just demonstrate the first part of this here. So we're going to start off by setting up a pulse in the right hand, left hand. And then we would repeat something similar to that. All right, so we can call that our first phrase or the first idea that we're doing. I'm going to call it the first variation. So let's look at how that starts there in the right hand. Let's just break it right down to its components. We'll start with the melody. The melody starts right there on the F, and we walk up to the A. We're going to repeat that A. Okay, but when we repeat the A, I'll talk about fingering here right away. We'll start with finger 3 on the F. You want to walk up those 3 notes. The second time you repeat the A, you'll repeat with finger 3. I do a little bit of a switch of fingers there, and that's important for what's coming after there. So here we go. On the F, walking up to 5, switch. All right, so you've played that A twice. The reason I'm belaboring that point just a little bit is because the pa-rum-pa-pum-pum comes next. So if you think of that pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, there are 5 syllables to this, all right? And it happens just between the A and the B flat. So because we've switched here to finger 3 on the A, we are set up now. Otherwise, had we not switched, we would have run out of fingers and we couldn't play the B flat. That's why we switched to finger 3 on A. And then we're going to just use fingers 3 and 4 to play the pa-rum-pa-pa-pum. You'll notice it starts on an A. Pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. I'll show you that one more time in sequence, and then we'll add some harmony notes. Hold this first one. Switch to 3. Now, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. To avoid any confusion, you'll notice that A was actually played 3 times in total. The first time with finger number 5, switch to 3, and then as the first syllable in pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. Those little details tend to mess students up when they're trying to put a melody together. Okay, so now we're going to add in some harmony notes. I'll demonstrate it first. Okay, so the first melody note is the A, so that's a 6th below. We're still going to use finger 3 on the F there. You just have to stretch it a little bit until the thumb hits the A. As you walk up to the G, add in a C there, all right, with your thumb. And we've got an A and the F right there. So go ahead and play those 3 chords in sequence a few times until you're comfortable with this movement in the hand. You can see it's very smooth. We haven't changed anything in those melody notes. They are exactly the same as when we played them by themselves. We've just added harmonies. Now, as we switch there to finger 3 on the A, well, obviously we're going to have to switch the thumb to the thumb down there as well. So when we play that a second time, we just switch fingers. 3 and 5 for the first time, 1 and 3 for the second time. And now you're in position to play the pa-rum-pa-pums. The harmony notes are F and G. So the melody notes were A and B flat. In addition, at the bottom you play, sounds familiar later on in the song. Actually, the song ends on those. So we are going to play these 2 together. And then as you walk up in the melody, the harmony walks up, and it's almost like they're connected, right? Like they just move up in sync. So let's put that all together one more time. Now we're going to move up to C there in the harmony. Switch to fingers 3 and 1. That was the second time you played the A. Now you're going to play it again as part of the pa-rum-pa-pums. Pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. 5 events there in total, 5 syllables that you're speaking out. Then you would repeat it again, this time because of the words, I am a poor boy too, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. If you're not overwhelmed by it, if you want to keep it exactly the same as the first part, that's fine. If you have a bit of a stronger ear and you're a little bit more comfortable, then you can try just making those accommodations for the words. I won't spend time on how many times you play this or that. You just have to kind of do that by feel, using your intuition. But like I say, if that stretches you too much, just play the first part exactly the same again. Hold that first one, walk up, switch, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. Okay, we're going to add in a left hand here. Now, for the left hand, though, we are going to have to put up a diagram in order to show how that goes together. So you'll notice in this diagram here that I've got some some X's. So this is similar to a percussion diagram where the right hand has some, where the X is, that's where the right hand plays. Where the X in the left hand plays, LH stands for left hand, RH stands for right hand. The left hand plays on those X's. Now, the underneath the X's is the 1, 2, 3, 4 count. All right, that is the rhythm in the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll notice the X in the left hand, there's an X on the 1 and on the 3. That's because the left hand always plays on the first beat and on the third beat. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when we add the right hand in, the right hand is going to play that first. You've been practicing the right hand by itself until you're very comfortable with it before you try putting the hands together. But provided that you're comfortable enough with the right hand that you can play that very smoothly without any stops and pauses, so you're playing it nice and smoothly, you're ready to put those hands together, here's how we do it. So the right hand is going to play on the 1. 1, 2, the left hand plays on 3. Now the right hand goes up to that G, C, all right? Second event in the right hand. That happens on the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you come up here to the F and A with fingers 3, 5, together on the 1, okay? There's nothing happening in either hand on the 2, and then that's where the right hand is going to switch to use fingers 1 and 3. 3, 4. So you're going to need to count along. Get familiar with counting. I always say to my students, only amateur musicians don't count because students for some reason are very resistant to counting. So do yourself a favor, get comfortable counting along with your playing. In the left hand, the best way to do that would just be to count along with your left hand because it's very repeatable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you're comfortable with that, add that right hand in according to this diagram that you see there in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there is a separate diagram for the rum-pum-pum-pum. So the rum-pum-pum-pum has, those first 2 notes are played quickly. Actually, it is the second. Of those 5, you start on pa and then rum-pum-pum-pum. Okay, so in the diagram, because the pa, the first syllable of those 5 events, that happens actually as the 4th beat of the previous bar. So without getting too confusing, by the time you get to the words rum-pum, those are what's called 8th notes. So they're a little bit faster. So we want to put 2 of those into the first beat. Rum-pum. So when the left hand is playing that 1 there on the F, you stay on the F. Don't switch the left hand at all from the F. It stays right there. Rum-pum, and the pum is on the second beat. And then on the third beat, you're back down for your last pum. And then the left hand is going to play just 3 more times by itself before you repeat that. Okay, so I will demonstrate that actually at the keyboard here, how that pa-rum-pa-pum-pum goes. Well, actually, I'll put it together from the beginning just so that you can actually have a visual. Now that you've got that diagram, if you want to take a screenshot of the diagram and follow along, that would be great. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, switch to 3 and 1, 3, 4, rum-pum-pum-pum. Left, left, left. Now this is the variation on that first one. Now you'll notice there just rhythmically it is slightly different than the first one. I'll put that up here so you can see in this diagram the right hand, because we're playing the same notes, but we're just playing them rhythmically a little bit different. I'll also put up the lyrics so that you can follow along there with those lyrics. So the left hand starts, I I suppose those lyrics, it would depend on where you are in the song. So there are a few different lyrics that have that same meter. So the important part is that the left hand is going to start their play by itself on the 1. And then the right hand plays on 2, and then on the 3, and then on the 4. So the right hand actually plays on 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Okay, I'm going to show you how that actually looks in the hand. So it's left, right, together. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you find that to be too complicated with that rhythm, just repeat the first part again. Make it exactly the same. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do it again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as we're going to go with this section.